Well, as a newsroom, we've put together a documentary chronicling the events of that day and all activities that ensued after. This is a documentary from the Channel One newsroom in memory of the fallen eight.
August 6, 2025. An ordinary Wednesday, Ghanaians out and about, briskly going on about their businesses. No one could have predicted that by midday, the nation's peace would be so shattered. The rumors were rife, and the national anxiety was palpable. It could be felt right in the ChannelOne newsroom.
We had gone through programming here and completed our morning shows both on Channel One television and on 97.3 City FM. And then the unfortunate news came in initially as a rumor, which rumor we were praying would turn out to be untrue. However, the bad news hit us just as an atomic bomb hit Hiroshima on 6th August 1945.
On behalf of the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, who is with us here, and the government of Ghana, I have the unpleasant duty, sadly, to announce a national tragedy involving the crash of a military helicopter this morning around the Adansi area in Ashanti region. Government regrets to announce the demise of the following persons in the tragic crash: Dr. Edward Kofi Omane-Boamah, Minister for Defense; Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Muhammad, MP, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology; Alhaji Muniru Mohammed Lemonad, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture; Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress; and Mr. Samuel Abuaji, a former parliamentary candidate; Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. The President and government extends our condolences and sympathies to the families of our comrades and the servicemen who died in service to the country. All flags are to fly at half-mast until further notice.
The crash site was remote, deep in forest, accessible only by foot. But when it broke, the shockwave was immediate. Ghana, in the middle of a work week, stopped. 3 days of mourning were declared, and tributes began to pour in. Later that fateful day at the Air Force Base in Accra, a ceremony was held to receive the fallen. 8 coffins, 8 lives, 8 stories. The same flag that had draped them in life now draped them in death. The Ghanaian red, gold and green, now a symbol not of celebration but of farewell. The following day, on August 7, 2025, the government led a flower-laying ceremony for the departed aides at the Jubilee House, attracting a steady stream of mourners who continued to pay their respects. Later that evening, the President, John Dramani Mahama, addressed the nation.
This tragedy represents a deep personal loss for me. I shared a close bond with many of those individuals who died. Our nation is grieving, and on behalf of the government and the people of Ghana, I extend my deepest condolences to their families, friends, and their loved ones. Know that our entire country mourns with you. We share your pain. Your loss is our loss. A loss of dedicated public servants, intellectuals, and individuals who tirelessly worked for a better Ghana.
On Saturday, August 9, 2025, The nation gathered at the forecourt of the State House for a reflections and memorial in honor of the departed. 9 days after the crash, Ghana gathered to say goodbye. The venue was the Independence Square, the ceremonial heart of the nation, the same ground where independence was declared, where presidents had been sworn in, where the nation had always marked its most solemn moments. Thousands came, cabinet ministers, members of parliament, traditional chiefs, religious leaders, diplomats, and ordinary citizens. They came not because they had to, but because they needed to be there. 8 coffins, each one a story, each one a life interrupted. The procession was led by the military pallbearers, their steps synchronized, their faces carved in stone. The national anthem played, but something in the notes had changed. It was no longer a song of pride alone, it was a song of mourning. Families took turns to pay glowing tribute to their departed loved ones.
This year, on my birthday, you wrote, "Happy birthday, my love. You are not only my wife, but also my best friend, the greatest blessing in my life. I thank God every day for you, and I look forward to creating more beautiful memories together. Enjoy your day. I love you deeply." I was holding on those words with so much joy, eagerly counting down the days until I would see you again in Atlanta, Georgia, on the 18th. I was waiting to be in your arms, to laugh with you, to celebrate my birthday by your side like we had planned. Why then? Why am I in Ghana mourning you instead? On that final morning, just hours before your crash, your last words to me were, "Take care, babe. I love you." Those words will forever echo in my heart, not just as your goodbye, but as your eternal vow to me.
When I say cassette gist, who will make my life comfortable now? Manine, please respond and answer me. This silence is too loud. I keep checking my phone for a message, or a picture, or a call. I have been checking since Wednesday. What do I do now? Everything feels surreal. And sometimes I expect you to walk in with that beautiful smile of yours.
The few years of knowing you were undoubtedly the best moments of my life. Manche, it's been days, and you have not called at 5 a.m. for us to pray. On the morning of the Wednesday, I called you and I told you that I woke up very sad. I do not know why. Immediately, your first solution to everything, which was prayer, was what you suggested. We prayed, and you said you had a flight to Obuasi, and you'll be back. I'm still waiting. I do not know for how long I would continue waiting, but I'll still wait. Shame on you, death. You have not won. Christ has, because Ernest died knowing him as his Lord and Savior. I was oblivious that death would take you so soon, but meeting you has shown me that angels truly exist in human form.
The religious leaders stepped forward. Christian prayers were offered for the Christians. The imams recited the janaza for the Muslim deceased. It was Ghana at its most honest, a country of many faiths united in one grief. After the funeral service, 6 of the 8 were taken to the military cemetery at Chado near Bema Camp. It is the resting place of Ghana's soldiers, a quiet ground where the noise of a crowd fades and only the names remain. The 2 Muslim deceased were buried according to Islamic rite. The last post was played, the rifles cracked, the earth was closed, and the nation turned away from the graves, carrying the weight of what it had lost. And then the questions began. What caused it? Could it have been prevented? The investigation was launched within hours, but in the immediate aftermath, the cause mattered less than the laws. An investigative board chaired by National Security Coordinator COP Abdul Razak Osman was constituted. Other members of the board included local aviation experts from Ghana Air Force and the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, alongside technical advisors from the U.S. Air Force. The board presented its report to the President in November 2025.
The investigation determined that the accident was caused by the sudden loss of altitude and lift due to downdraft. This loss of altitude without change in power or pitch altitude is consistent with downdraft associated with changing environmental conditions over high terrain. We said there's limited national navigational capacity, a capability for en route and remote area weather services.
1 year on, the mountain near Adansia Krofom is silent. The wreckage has been cleared. The investigators have gone home. The news cameras have moved on to other stories. The flag flies at full mast now, but the pain lives with the families of the departed eight. To ease that pain, the government has presented support packages to the children of the eight, including a legacy box containing a personal letter signed by President John Dramani Mahama.
The Accra Circuit Court, acting under the Workmen's Compensation Act 1963, Act 174, awarded a total compensation package of 13,872,962.40 pesos to the dependents of our 4 civilian officials who lost their lives in the tragedy. Similarly, in accordance with the Armed Forces Regulation 1992, LI 1546, compensation packages have been processed for the families of our fallen military personnel. Today, government formally hands over these compensation packages to the respective families.
The mourning period is over, but the memory does not end when the flag rises. Memory is not a decree, it is a choice, and Ghana 1 year later is still choosing to remember.
The weather was moving like this that day when it happened, and it was terrible. The circumstances, everything was terrible, and we still haven't overcome the shock, I should say. Every time I wake up, I say, so I'll never see Mutala again. Yes, sir. Aside from the politics, we're close friends. Discuss family, personal development, and all that. And so suddenly, a year is here. And I believe that as a nation, a lot is being done to immortalize them. But I believe that what led to the accident, which resulted in their being perished, should be looked at and it can be avoided. As a people, we need to love. But at the end of the day, that's all we have. So about the memories.
Had relationship with Muniru, Mutala, my cousin, the Sapong, my associate. So I was really devastated, and I thought that was the ultimate sacrifice. To die for your country, in line of duty. But then I looked back and said, so, especially Muniru had just taken office. It was not even up to 1 month. He has not even drawn his first salary, and he was gone. Mutala was not 1 year in his office. He had just won elections as Tamil Central MP and got sworn into parliament, caught the eye of Mr. President, made him environment minister. He didn't serve 1 year. Small kids. So that got me worried that serving your country can exert a lot of toll on your family, even if you are alive. But if you lose the breadwinners of the family in situations like this, can really be devastating. And that is why I commend
government for the initiative. I think Mr. President understands what that means to the families of our compatriots, and so that's why the state is doing everything to intervene in the lives of the surviving spouses and children at their critical time of need.
And for the people of Sikaman in Adansia Krofrom who climbed up the hills, the memory of the disaster is still fresh in their minds.
Forest, I mean, Mudana at a range of say to me, Namiura Forest, Mukrana, Miuno, a Koyan, and I'm Swami. And so, when you say Uncle Panani, do many more than McCoy because Nedding, pa, Ned to me. I'm Mobia shedding, Yenny Penina, a more sure more. Papa, a mama, many a yina, a Mobia shedding.
Ehwɛ a na nka yɛwie yɛ fi kakra ba yɛ ne bɛso no ama ɛde yawo ne pressure bi ama yɛ sɛ mpanyinfoɔ bi a wɔde wɔn nkwa ɛtɔ hɔ sɛ wɔn boa som Ghana man no efiri mu yɛayɛ ɛte saa ɛno saa asɛso na ɔyɛ anɔkye kurom hɛma ɔbaa panyin ɛhwɛ sɛ ade na esi yɛ no ɔwɔ sɛ ɛyɛ nkaedu nti ɔno ɛfa n'abɔso mu sika a me no ka sɛ edwuma a ɔyɛ wɔ big board no ho ɛkɔ so bɛyɛ sɛ Ghana 5,000 Ghana cedis a ɔhema na ankasa na ɛde ne bɔtɔ mu sika ɛfa me so a ɛde yɛ isuo de hyɛ saa mpanyinfoɔ no animia.
Edward Omaneboama, Minister of Defense; Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, Minister of Environment, Science and Technology; Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, Deputy National Security Coordinator; Samuel Sapong, Vice Chairman, National Democratic Congress; Samuel Abuaje, Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala; Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampedu; Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. 8 names, 8 heroes, 1 August morning, 1 nation's grief.